Yeah, so first press conference, for the 2025 season. Obviously, today's more about breaking camp, and we just had a big personnel meeting with the staff, and we went over each position group and kind of how everybody performed in camp, and where it looks going into this, Bryant, which is next week's game week. We're excited about it. I mean, it's I thought we had a really good, productive camp. Energy was really good. I feel like we're much longer, more athletic team. I feel like we're a deeper team. We're better at the quarterback spot, which we needed to be. We got some great leadership from veterans like Tyler over here, and I'm excited about the season. I mean, we put a lot of work in. And I think in this day and age, bringing a team together, it gets harder and harder when guys have been around each other for a shorter amount of time. I think this group's really gelled. So at the end of the day, we're playing 2 weeks, so we're excited about that. I think the guys are tired of beating up on each other, but they've done a good job of creating this culture of competition. And again, we're really pleased with the way camp ended. Now we got to transition into the season and get ready to go win a game.
Questions?
I'm here. How do you all feel like the scrimmage went on Saturday? Positives, negatives. Just how did that all go for you?
It went exactly the way we kind of planned it. I mean, we didn't want to play Logan, long. Tyler, I mean, what did you take, 3 snaps? So a lot of our starters, that have played a lot of football, played very few snaps. It was more about getting our 2s and 3s ready. We wanted to get Logan in the rhythm. Obviously, didn't start off the way we wanted to, but that's good give and take, from offense and defense. It was really good to see the 2 other quarterbacks kind of battle for that 2 role. That offensive line, we really wanted to see them play the lion's share of snaps. That 1-0 line, they played most of the night. Just to get those guys to gel a little bit. Again, running backs, we played our top 2 guys for a couple of snaps and then got them out. And, again, defensively, there was a handful of guys that we got out early. So it was good. I mean, we got 110 snaps. We got some good special team plays. So it was, that last scrimmage was, again, some of our guys that are proven players, get them in, get them out, and really let those 2s and 3s battle it out.
Yeah, talking about the line with Mikey at left, Malik at right. Is Kai and Florian the plan at maybe left guard and center, or is there something different?
Mateo at left guard would most likely. I mean, we'll see. Him and Florian are battling at that left guard spot. If we played today, it would probably be Mateo. And then the right guard's BJ, and then like you said, Kai at the center spot. So we feel really good about that. But we feel like there's 7 or 8 guys possibly that could go in there and play. Again, that left guard spot's still a little bit of a battle.
Logan, how's being a dad?
It's been amazing. It's been a blessing. Tomorrow will be the first week, and it's hard to put into words. It's been great.
Everything went well in the hospital and things like that?
Yep. Couldn't have asked for it to have gone any better, and because of that, it allowed me to get back to football, and families coming in and helped around the house. So just having so much support in the building and away from the building has been a huge help. It's allowed me to focus on really the 2 things that matter: my family and football. So we're off to a good start, and I couldn't have asked for it to be better.
How have you tried to maybe balance all that in fall camp? Trying to be prepared for fall camp, be prepared for the season, while also having this major thing going on in your life.
Yeah, it's just being prepared and coming to work every day, knowing that I need to get the most out of it, not just for myself, but for my teammates and for the staff. And like I said, the staff and everyone around the building has helped along the way to help me prepare for this moment. And as far as the baby, you learn as you go, and it's been amazing so far in the first week, but definitely excited for the season to come up.
Yeah. Coming into the season, you're the guy, you're the starter. We've talked about that a few times, but it does come with a lot of attention a little bit. You're here at all the media events. You're being one of the faces of the team, which is something that you may not have had at Montana or Fresno State. How has that maybe changed for you, and how have you tried to maybe deal with all that extra attention that you're maybe getting?
For me, it's kind of just something that I've always kind of wanted and kind of strived for. It's why I've worked my whole life to be where I'm at, and throughout these college years, I've had to learn through a lot of different experiences. So now to finally be in this role, it's everything I've hoped and dreamed for and worked for. So I'm trying to just enjoy every moment. Like I said, show up to work every day, work hard, stay true to who I am, and just continue to play the game that I love.
Tyler, I've seen you and Zayden kind of link up together so far in fall camp. Maybe you're coaching him up a little bit, things like that. How's Zayden been since you've been here? What are some things that you've been telling him?
Yeah, Zayden's going to be a problem in a couple of years. That kid is even Coach Fernandez the other day told me he's a more athletic version of me. I was like, man, that's messed up. But yeah, in a couple of years, he's going to be really good. He's already picking up on the changes from high school football to college football really quickly, and I like what I see.
What do you see in front of you from the pass rush? Obviously, that's an area where you guys struggled last year. You guys finished last in the conference in sacks last year. Where do you feel like the defensive line is at seen that in front of you?
I think the D-line is going to be insane this year. Like, every guy that comes in, I think, has a piece to the puzzle, and they're all going to contribute in some kind of way. But the pass rush this year is going to be a lot better.
So I mean, I've seen Donovan make a lot of plays in fall camp. I remember he talked about at the kickoff how some medical problems maybe limited him last year, but he's having a really good fall camp, or he had a really good fall camp. What have you seen from him, and just how is he going to factor into the rotation?
You know, I'm excited. I mean, I'm really excited about that entire receiving core. I mean, it's completely been retooled, and it's a really good group. And, you know, and Donnie's been a guy who's been around here for a couple of years. You know, I remember in that Conference USA Championship game, him running around and catching pivotal balls in that game. And we had high hopes for him last season. And again, you know, the night before the Fresno game, game 3, you know, he had a medical issue where he wasn't able to play that night and didn't play for another 7 weeks. So it really dampened his season. And, you know, he came back at the end and, you know, wasn't healthy. So, you know, I was kind of bummed. I wasn't really sure where his career was going to go. You know, we had a long conversation, you know, when the season ended about, you know, what he was going to do, and he decided to hunker on in with us, and I'm glad he did because he's a hell of a football player. I mean, he's had a great offseason. You know, he's back to, you know, the guy that we thought he was going to be. He's big, he's strong, runs well, plays all 3 positions. I mean, he can play the Y and 10 personnel, plays the Z, plays the X. He can play on the inside. Really high-level, intelligent guy. You know, out of Corona Centennial, they do a great job over there. So he's exactly what I thought he would be when I went out and recruited. I remember standing there watching him play a high school football game, you know, when I was a receiver coach. And was fired up about him, and I thought he could, you know, he had a lot of top end talent, and I think Coach Cormier has done a great job of, you know, bringing it to fruition. So he's going to be a key member, you know, of this team, and I think he's going to have a great year this year. We're excited about him.
You guys got the Carrick on one side of the defense. Obviously, he could be one of conference's best corners this year, but Josiah's on the other side. He had to pick in the scrimmage. He's been doing pretty well. What do you like about Josiah so far?
You know, again, it's, you know, in this day and age, you know, we want guys to perform, you know, so fast, and just Josiah's exactly where he should be based on his age. You know, I mean, he's an older guy, he's more mature. You know, he's really understanding the game. He's doing a great job of, you know, keeping his emotions, you know, in check. You know, he's a real emotional guy, and he channels it into, you know, his work ethic every day and the way he plays. He's a hell of a football player, so we're excited about them. You know, I mean, I think that, you know, there's a lot of areas that I feel like we're a lot better than last year. We'll see how it all pans out, but he's definitely a much improved guy, and he's going to be, you know, he's going to contribute quite a bit.
Tell me about maybe you guys trying to move into the new facility and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's gonna be pretty
so I'm excited. I walked through it the other day. You know, we had to approve, you know, one of the big signs in the locker room, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, that locker room is. I can't wait to move these guys in. You know, it's fantastic. You know what I mean? Meeting rooms, training room, locker room. It's much needed. You know, I mean, we've recruited our tails off here for the last bunch of years since I've been here in 2022, and we haven't shown the locker room to recruit one time. So I'll tell you what, so it's been pretty amazing that we've been able to do it. So now to walk him into this new facility, it's going to be a game changer for us. So we'll move in. I've talked to the team about it. We'll move in after the La Tech game. So the first 3 weeks we'll stay where we're at right now, and then that bye week before New Mexico, we'll move on into the facility.
Yeah. Logan, Tyler, how do you guys feel about the facility? What have you guys seen from it? How do you feel like that's going to help you guys out this year?
No, I haven't seen much of it other from being outside of it. It looks great from the outside. So I know it's something that keeps everybody excited, and those new things for a football program are just keep you excited, keep playing, gives you more to be appreciative for, and allow you to just go out and worry about playing football.
Tyler?
Yeah, same here. We haven't really seen much of the inside of it, just the outside, but I've been here this is going to be my 3rd year now, so I can't wait to move into the new one.
For Logan, I wanted to ask about you. This is your first year where you're really the designated starter going into the year, but at Montana you were able to start 8 games. First time against Eastern Washington, and you went out most of the year. Tell me what it was like going in that first game against Eastern Washington, and you know, just how do you feel like the starting experience that you got at Montana is able to help you out for this year?
Yeah, I think just the story of my career is I've always told myself to stay ready. The whole time, I've never really been the designated starter, the main person, so I've always just told myself to worry about what I can control and to stay ready for my opportunities. And so that was just an opportunity that was presented to me, and I was ready for that moment. And that's kind of how I approach every week. And so I'm kind of approaching the same thing this year. I'm finally in the spot I want to be in, and it's just another opportunity to go play and do what I know I'm best at. So I'm just excited for this opportunity. I'm going to take it 1 week at a time, and I'm thankful to be here.
I want to ask about the secondary as well. There's, I think, 6-7 JUCO guys that are in there right now, something like that. Yeah, a lot of new guys there. Just, of course, we talk about the Carrick and Josiah as returners, Nick Sessions there at safety, but some new guys who you feel like are going to play a lot this season. They're coming in.
Well, I mean, it's transfers and JUCO guys. Bernard Gaia has done a heck of a job. He's had some. He's had a great camp for us. He had a great spring ball. It was good getting him in early. DJ Cloyd. He's another guy that's just really stepped up. And I mean, he'll be a hell of a special teams guy. He'll provide a lot of key roles on defense. Armand Hale, the transfer we had brought. I mean, that kid, he's a football player. I mean, he's long, athletic. I mean, he'll be one of the better safeties in the entire conference. I mean, so we're excited. I mean, there's a good handful of guys that came on in, and most of that group too, that JUCO group was all here in the spring. So there's quite a few guys there that have got a lot of reps under their, Hill Smith. I mean, there's a lot of guys that got a ton of reps under their belt before these new group of guys came in the summertime too. So that area we're drastically improved. I mean, again, bringing in some guys with experience at the corner spot. Lorenzo Smith coming in. He's another really athletic guy. Zedekiah Brown has done a really good job in the offseason. I mean, I feel so much better about the depth of that group and the athleticism of the group.
Jamal Thompson, there, the defensive end. He's very experienced defensive end at Stanford. I've seen him in fall camp and in the scrimmages. I think he recovered a fumble in the scrimmage. Coming in, being a very experienced guy, does maybe that help him get on the field a little bit more? What do you think about that?
No, there's no doubt. I mean, being quite frank, last year once we got past the ones, we really struggled. I mean, it was hard to roll guys in. Right now, I mean, again, we just had a staff meeting, and there's multiple guys at the tackle and the end spot that we can roll in and keep guys fresh. They're going to be more than productive. So Jamal's a player who, again, we've got a lot of bang for a buck. Guys moving up, from lower levels. Guys that have played, who have experience, who started games. Again, it's kind of like Logan. You kind of have an idea of what you're bringing to the table with guys that have played a bunch. Sometimes guys that are making lateral moves or transferring down from a bigger, conference, so to speak. Who haven't played a lot, they still don't know how to be a starter. So a guy like Jamal is going to add a ton of experience. You get guys like him, coming on in. He just adds a presence to the locker room.
Tyler, I wanted to ask. I've been asking a lot of the teammates. I wanted to ask you as well. When Tony was at the Conference USA kickoff, he talked a lot about how people have rallied around Logan, that people have gravitated toward him, and he kind of has that natural pull maybe for a team as maybe a leader. Just how do you feel about that? About how people have maybe rallied around Logan and just maybe kind of been pulled toward Logan as a starter?
Yeah, since the day Logan came in, he showed us that he's about his business. He's gonna lead us, from the front, and I just really respect the way that he holds himself and carries himself every day. He shows up to work every day and doesn't ever complain, and he's just a true leader that the team has to look forward to.
The last one I have for you, Tony. Recently, New Mexico State, they've announced who's going to be on the search committee to find the new athletic director. You're probably very, very busy, so I imagine that you probably didn't want to be on the committee. But I wanted to ask if you were asked to be on the committee, or just
during football season they kind of leave us alone.
Yeah,
and honestly, that's the last thing I'm worried about right now. I mean, it's our full attention's on this football team and going 1-0. I mean, we have a great committee put together. Our president, he's got a vision for this place, and we have people that are here on campus who have a chance to come to AD. We have people from the outside of the campus that are interviewing, so they'll make the best decision for New Mexico State, and I'm fired up to work with whoever it is.
So I got one more thing. This will be the 5th year you guys open at home. Just talk about maybe a little bit how excited you are to open at home rather than have to go on the road to start the year.
Well, it's always nice. I mean, week one's always exciting regardless, right? But being at home's a big thing. It's great for the fans. I love the 7 o'clock kickoff. I mean, you couldn't have asked for better weather this entire camp. I mean, the weather's been great. So we're hoping we have another one of those beautiful Saturday nights. So to get everybody here, get that Aggie walk going, get those cowbells rolling, again, we got to fight to go 1-0, and it's never easy, but we're excited about it. And again, start college. There's nothing better in America than college football. So starting college football here at home, right here in Las Cruces, in front of the Aggie faithful, we're fired up to get rolling.